Have you ever visited a cemetery and noticed that some of the flat markers look very uniform and professionally laid out? And then you have other flat markers that seem to be slanted, crooked, sunken into the ground, or seem like they just don't belong? This stems from improper placement of these flat markers. Understanding the correct process for placing a flat cemetery marker is important because it helps preserve the marker's condition and longevity of the stone. Today I'll explain how to prepare the site, how to properly lay out the stone where it needs to be going, how to dig the hole, how to prepare the hole, and how to place the stone and fill it in. The first step to choose the correct location is, according to the cemetery's rules and guidelines, you have to find the exact placement of the stone where it needs to be on what family space. Once the location is determined, you have to measure and mark out the exact placement to make sure the marker is centered evenly. What we do is, it's very crude, but works very well. Just a piece of plywood, 1 foot wide by 2 feet long, with a little handle on it. What we do is we place this right where the stone should be. Well, I'd like to mention that it is the exact dimensions of a flat stone. And what we do is we place that on the ground and we trace out the border once we get the right position and alignment to make sure we place it in the proper position. Once we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to dig into the ground about 6 inches down. The stones are usually 4 inches thick, so we go a little bit past that. Once we dig a rectangle in the ground, what you're going to do, remove all the dirt and place it to the side because we're going to use that for later. After that, we'd like to take some of the dirt out so we have about 1.5 inch gap below where the stone would sit. And what we do from there is we place some fine gravel in there. Place the gravel in there and we use a steel plate. It's called a tamp, and essentially it's just a compactor where we compact the stone to make it a nice base for the flat marker. Once we have all that done, our next step is to place the flat marker in the ground. How we do this is we make sure that it is lined up. We usually have a string or we have markers to make it so it's perfectly in line with all the other stones, nice and square with them. Once we do that, we make sure we place the stone on the ground the way it's supposed to be read, usually at the feet. So if you're standing at the feet of the deceased and you're looking at their grave, you could read everything about them on that stone. Once we get the stone placed, what we're going to do from there is make sure it's level with the ground. After that, around the perimeter of the stone, there should be a couple inches between where you place the stone and where the dirt is. Once you have that, you're going to fill in about 2 to 3 inches of dirt. And you're also going to take a 2x4 and or anything you could use to fit in that gap, and you're going to go around the border of that and tamp that down and compact it so it's nice and sturdy. Once that's done, you're going to double check to make sure that the stone is still in the right alignment. Once it's in the right alignment and everything seems good, what we're going to do from there is continue to put more dirt in there, another 2 inches. You're going to go around again, pack all that down around the perimeter. And the final time, we should be able to sprinkle the rest of the dirt on top around the perimeter to make it nice and even with the level of the existing grass. Once all that's done, we are essentially going to step back, take a look at it just to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be and it looks uniform for the rest of the cemetery. In summary, properly preparing the area, positioning the marker, and finishing this site are the key steps that ensure a flat cemetery marker remains respectful, stable, and visually appealing for years to come. So the next time you visit a cemetery and you see a flat marker that looks very well placed, you understand the detail and time and effort it takes to go into that. And if you find a cemetery stone that seems to be misplaced, crooked, or sunken down, that's most times just improper placement by someone who's not supposed to be doing that.